word. 17, 5, same color t-shirt. Mama told me not to sell word. 17, 5, same color t-shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful evening for football tonight here on Friday, August 26th. It's the season opener between the Bismarck Legacy Sabres and the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. And this is to kick off the 2022 season. And this is like our first sports broadcast, Aaron, in like almost 5 months. It's good to be back.
Oh, it is great to be back. Jackson Miller, I'm Aaron Knodel. This is exciting, Jackson. Obviously, we've only had 2 days of school, and here we are, fall football. Packed house here. Hopefully the weather holds up, and this turns out to be an awesome game. I'm excited. I know you are too.
Yes, sir. And the Mustangs, they're coming off a state championship, an undefeated season, 12-0, utter dominance, school record in points scored on offense, and then the least amount of points allowed on defense. So they're coming off the best offensive and defensive season in their program's history, and let's see if they're going to do that again this year.
You know, it all starts with the head coach, Coach Jeremy Newton. Obviously, he's the backbone of this program. He's the guy that built this thing from day one. He had the state championship team last year. They ran the table, and he had he's put in a unique, potent offense that you will not see really anywhere else in the state.
Yeah, they pounded on the ground. It's a run game. They like to get a stop on defense and then just trim down the clock, and it barely gives teams chances to score points against the Mustangs, especially Bismarck Century. Last year in the third quarter when the Mustangs defeated them on their home turf here, 14-0, they held Century to 4 yards of total offense in the third quarter.
Yeah, and you're talking about Bismarck Century, but in-house tonight is Bismarck Legacy, and they have an axe to grind here because obviously last year, they played the Mustangs, and the Mustangs definitely got the better of them, but it is a new season, 0-0 both ways. They're ready to come in and prove themselves as well, aren't they, Jackson?
Yes, they are. They're coming off the last year's score between the Sabres and the Mustangs was 36-7. The Mustangs wiped the floor with them, and the Mustangs lead the all-time series 5-2. The last time the Sabres had defeated the Mustangs was back in 2017, and we're going to see if the Mustangs can just bring some more dominance tonight here against Sabres, and we'll see how the Sabres hold up here on the road.
And we already talked about Coach Jeremy Newton. He will tell you that last season means nothing. This is a brand new team. This is high school football.
Absolutely.
You don't get to, have the luxury of just signing a contract and bringing the guys back. These are all brand new players on both sides. There are a lot of starters that are in college and beyond the walls and halls of Sheyenne High School. And so, the Mustangs have a lot of guys that they have to replace, but I think they have a lot of guys that are ready to step up.
Well, speaking of college talent, we're going to start off with Carter Menz. He's the player to watch tonight, defenseman. He's a Minnesota commit. As recently, he was, for most of the time during his recruiting, he was a 3-star. But, he got some big-time offers, and Minnesota was his choice, and he led the EDC in sacks last year. And so he's the guy to watch, and everyone's pretty intimidated by him. He's got some size on him.
Yeah, his explosiveness on the edge, it's unlike what you typically see in high school. Where you might have some questions tonight, last year he had Theron Parson. They had some really good defensive tackles, so it wasn't as easy for teams to double and chip on Carter Menz. Because they would be singling up on Theron Parson, and he would do a heck of a job making sure that they couldn't do that. Well, this year we got some guys that are maybe unproven. They have to prove themselves at the defensive line as well. And you know this, Jackson. We've talked about this many times on the broadcast, but the Sheyenne Mustang game is won in the trenches, offense and defensive line. So I think defensive line, you're going to have to say Carter Menz is the guy. Offensive line, it is Mason Hart. He's the guy that really I think that we're looking to. With that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a little bit, talk a little bit more football, and see this game soon.
this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
What I like about working in manufacturing is that you get to work with a lot of different people with different skill sets, everywhere from engineering to people who are just good with their hands. So for myself, I never really envisioned that I'd be working in manufacturing, but I gave it a try, and HR has definitely become my passion.
I like working in manufacturing because it's something different every day, fast-paced environment. Every day is, new challenge, and it keeps it very exciting.
So I like to work in the manufacturing setting, using my engineering degree to really be able to support the products that we make. Depending on the project, I'm able to turn an idea on the computer into a real product out on the manufacturing floor.
We're back here on our Essentia Health pregame show. It's 6 minutes till kickoff, and Aaron, besides Carter Menz, the Mustangs have a few other weapons tonight on the defensive end.
Yeah, and we have a 3-year starter at linebacker, and that's unusual in Class AA football, and Nick Renner. Nick Renner has been a dominant force for multiple years here, and now he gets to be the leader. He sat alongside or played alongside Matt Tribe last year, who led our team in tackles. I'd be surprised if Nick Renner isn't the guy that leads our tackles and lead our team in tackles this year. He's a brute. He is coming off a national championship in weightlifting over the summer.
Yes,
he's a guy that was built to play this game. And he's earned that right over 3 years to be called a defensive captain, a stud, and I expect great things out of him this season.
And one of my favorite memories of Nick Renner last year was he had a pick 6 against West Fargo that was astonishing. He was able to return it, I think it was around 85 yards, and he stopped West Fargo's drive that was looking like they were about to score, and then he just took it back for 6, and the momentum swung to the Mustangs' favor. That was week 2 of the season, and the Mustangs won that against West Fargo. And then, Aaron, the Mustangs also have some weapons on the offensive side of the ball as well. They got Race Wilson in the backfield. They got Caden Rahr, and they also got Caleb Deere starting at quarterback. He's the new QB1 this year, as Graham Workatine, a 3-year starter, graduated last year.
Yeah, obviously you lose a 3-year starter at quarterback. That's going to sting a little bit. Caleb Deere's a tremendous athlete. He's going to probably have a little bit of a learning curve here, but it's nice to hand the ball off to Thunder and Lightning in the backfield. We did have a tremendous running back last year at the fullback position, and Josh Hendricks, he was a beast. But don't think that the Mustangs don't have a similar answer this year, because there's a new guy at fullback. We'll be talking about him a lot tonight, I'm sure, and Isaac Kanega. He's another guy that's lived in the weight room. And he's just been absolutely ready to play this season. He's going to get us going. But it is the Thunder and Lightning approach. It's Caden Rahr. It is Race Wilson. And the speed at the edges that they give in the slot. And then you come in and you pound it right in their face with Isaac Kanega. This is the offense that Jeremy Newton loves. We're going to see a lot of it tonight.
Well, and hey, Caleb Deere, he's a dual-threat quarterback. I mean, he can throw, but he can also run and scramble and get out of the pocket. When the defense is pressuring him, he can get out of the backfield and let it fly.
Yeah, and you're right, he's athletic, and we talk about inexperience in certain ways, but hey, guess what, this team won a state title last year. Many of them were on the sideline, but many of them participated. They also won state in other sports. Caleb Deere coming off a state title in both Legion baseball and high school baseball. He knows how to win as well, so don't be thinking that this guy doesn't know what to do when the lights come on. I'm excited to see what he's going to bring.
It's going to be exciting in his first ever high school start at the Varsity 11. As you see, the Mustangs, they're coming out of the helmet, and they're all pumped up. I'm excited, Aaron, to get this season underway. It's going to be an exciting 2022 season.
Yeah, Jackson, obviously we know what the Mustangs formula is, but there's some questions on the other side. Let's talk a little bit about legacy. They do have a preseason player of the year coming, and that's Jackson Kellogg. And so tell me what you know about this guy.
Well, I know he's getting some looks from, D1 FCS programs, especially UND. He's gone up to some visits up there, and, you know, he's got great size. He's muscular. He's also pretty tall, around 6'1", 6'2". So we'll see what he can bring tonight against the Mustangs. It'll be a great test.
So we're going to go to the PA announcer now, and we're going to listen in as we get the national anthem started. It's going to be an awesome game tonight. Hang in, folks. This is going to be a good one.
With the playing of our national anthem by the Sheyenne Pep Band under the direction of Mr. James Landman.
So there is the national anthem that was just played there, and now we're going to get an opportunity to meet the starting lineups tonight from both sides, in the Sabres and the Mustangs. And we are just a few moments away from kickoff, less than 2 minutes. It's going to be an exciting one, folks. It's good to be back. It's been a little over 5 months since our last sports broadcast. We did have a few broadcasts in there for like prom and stuff like that, but we're back to sports. And I've been super pumped all day for this, Aaron.
Yeah, obviously, fall football is kind of a different feel. It brings the community back together. You know, after the summer break, you see the fans out there tonight in their USA gear. So it's special when these kids come back to school. This kind of gets everybody excited, and I think that's something that, you know, just the community appreciates is when you get back in school, it's just a new vibe.
Well, I'm also decked out tonight. I got my own USA gear on. I got a USA T-shirt, a bandana, and got my 3 necklaces right here. So, you know, hopefully it's for good luck, but I decided to bring some spirit as well.
So it looks like the defensive unit is going to start for Legacy tonight, and that means the Mustang offense is going to get the ball to start this game.
Yeah, the Mustangs are going to get it going north, so they're going to be in the north end zone, or they're going to go towards the north end zone for the first drive tonight. And obviously the Legacy will get the ball starting at the second half.
So the Mustang offense last year, ground and pound attack, I think they averaged a little over 30 points a game last year, and they really didn't have to pass the football very often.
No.
That's a huge testament to that offensive line and the 3-year starter, Grant Workentine, leading the charge. Obviously, you know, this year it might be a little bit different, but I think the offensive line is going to be really good again. And obviously, you know, at the skill positions, the Mustangs are always really effective. And so we're excited to see what this looks like. What's this offense going to be? Is Jeremy Newton going to stick with what has always, worked for him in the past? Does he have to change things up because the personnel is different? It's always some interesting questions week one. And hey, right now we're ranked number 1 in the state. Preseason polls, Mustangs get the number 1 ranking, but what does that mean, Jackson?
Well, we also got the preseason player of the year, but, you know, you definitely can't. It's like you said, Aaron, it's a new season, 0-0 records. You're going to have to bring it, and, you know, it's a slightly different team, so that's what I'm excited to see. And I'm also excited to see what teams can give the Mustangs a good test this year, because last year Shanley was really the only team that was able to put points on the board against the Mustangs. In the homecoming game in Week 3, Shanley put up 28 points, and they led most of the game. But the Mustangs had a huge drive late in the game. Logan Holsing caught a pass to convert on 4th down. The Mustangs eventually scored, and then their defense came up big, stopped the Deacons, and on all 3 downs, forced them to turn over the ball, and that was game. And then the semifinal game, Shanley was up 21-14. The Mustangs shut them out in the second half, outscoring them 22-0.
Here's the way I look at it, Jackson. Preseason poll number 1. It's kind of like my 1980s baseball card collection. I thought it was going to be great. It looked really cool, but at the end of the day, it ended up being kind of worthless. So preseason polls don't mean much. As soon as that coin toss is over and you get on the field, everybody's 0-0. Everybody's got a fresh start, and the preseason poll means nothing. So we'll see what the Mustangs can do tonight. I'm excited for that. With that, Jackson, let's take a quick break. We'll take a 30-second commercial. We'll be back in just a second. So, Jackson, we're back.
Put your seatbelts on, folks. Reese Snow, the kicker for the Sabres, is about to kick things off for us. And I'm excited to see what the Mustangs do here on this first play of the game here on the kickoff return. See if they can get a big one here.
Mustangs fans and those watching across the country, you probably can't see this on the broadcast, but it's starting to come down pretty good. Rain coming down.
Football
This is the
weather.
way football's supposed to be played. And there's the kick.
Here we go. Snow's kick is off to the right. And Caden Rahr's going to get the first touch on the ball, and he's going to be tackled right around he's going to be brought down right around the 25, maybe a little past that. And that's where the Mustangs are going to start off their first drive of the 2022 season.
You know, this first drive, Jackson, is always a little tricky. Nerves are probably pretty high for a lot of kids, even if you've been around a little bit. That's what makes sports kind of fun, is to see how you react to kind of some of those nerves. So this first drive is really important, maybe one of those things that kind of sets the tone. We'll see what the Mustangs try to do here.
Here we go. It's going to be handoff to Kanega to the left side, and he's going to get tackled shortly after crossing the line of scrimmage.
Not a bad first down run there. Pick up about 3
Got to get
for
things
Kanega.
going, get loose. Yeah, you know, nerves are a good thing, Aaron. If, you know, something's wrong if there's no nerves.
And that we talked a little bit about Kanega in the opening. That was a good little push on the left-hand side of the line there. Kanega was able to meet the linebacker, not able to fall forward the way that maybe he wanted to, but a nice pickup on first down. Tight flex here.
2nd and 7. It's a handoff to Wilson. He's going to cut to the outside. He's going to get a nice gain there.
You know, Race Wilson is that kind of guy that, boy, if he can get around that first tackle, look out. He might take it to the house. He is explosive.
Yep,
and
just picked up a first down.
Boy, when he puts that first foot in the ground, boy, you never know exactly where he might be cutting left, right, and as soon as he gets going vertical, it's quick.
Caleb Deere takes the snap. It's a handoff to Rahr. Now his first carry of the night, and Rahr's going to get a nice carry around 7 to 8 yards. So back-to-back 7 to 8 yard runs here for the Mustangs. And like you said about Race, Aaron, I think the greatest strength about Race Wilson is his vision. His ball carrier vision is absolutely, outstanding. He always finds the right hole to cut, and that's why he gets a lot of big runs. He knows where to cut and find the open lane.
Big run there by Rahr. He's similar in speed, but different stature. We'll talk about that in a bit.
It's another run. Wilson around the left side, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield.
Nice play there by the defensive end for Legacy, stopping him in the backfield, and now it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 5 situation. And so the Mustangs have come in their tight flex and used that edge speed a little bit, opening there. That's the first time Legacy's been able to kind of shut the door on it.
And that was by number 6, Derek, who tackled Wilson in the backfield there. Here goes a handoff to Rahr. He tries to find an open lane, cuts back to the left, and he's going to be just short, I believe, of the first down.
So now we're going to have the first decision of the game. I would be surprised if the Mustangs don't go for it here. It looks like it's going to be less than a yard here.
Yeah, less than a yard. It's going to be fourth and half a yard or so.
It's nice to actually ask your players to make a play early in the game, especially your offensive linemen, and say, hey, let's get a push here. Let's pick up a yard. Let's move the chains. Let's keep this drive going.
We saw a lot of this last year. If it's fourth and short, the Mustangs are going for it. A little motion here by Rar. It's going to go to him, and he's going to get the first down. Tackled right around the 49 or 50-yard line, right at midfield, and the Mustangs continue their drive.
Good read there by Caden Rar on the right side. He was able to recognize where the hole was. He popped that hole pretty nicely, picked up the yardage that he needed, and he put his head down to make sure that he could lean forward. And that keeps the drive alive for the Mustangs.
Well, as you expected, all runs so far here. It's going to go to Kanega up the middle now, towards the left side a little bit. Nice gain there. 3-4 yards.
Again, a good push on the left-hand
That's
side.
what you want.
That gets Kanega going the right direction. And it's a nice pickup on first down there. Anytime that you're moving the sticks on or toward the other side of the sticks on first down, you got to feel that positive play does put a new pressure on the defense. It opens up the playbook a little bit. It gives you a lot of options coming into the second and third down situation that you have.
Nothing wrong with a 3-4 yard run by your fullback. Here we go. It's going to be a handoff to Wilson now. He's going to find a nice little lane. Picks up positive yardage there. It's going to be third and short.
Hey, we talked a little bit about Race Wilson's speed, but you saw it there. He was driving his legs through contact.
It's hard to tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the bulkiest kid, but, it's crazy how much defenders bounce off of him. I mean, he has a lot of broken tackles.
Strength is in, pounds that you move per square inch that you have. So
he's
very
very strong
for his size.
He's strong. It's going to be hand off to Kanega. Short run up the middle. And that will move the chains.
Not surprising that the formula here for the Mustangs in the opening drive of the season is something that they're comfortable with. This tight flex offense. There's a lot of different reads even still. They go into the tight flex, but there's so many different options that the defense has to account for, and so you do have a lot of success on that. Even when the defense sees that they come out in tight flex, you don't really know where the ball's going.
This one's going to go to Rar, and not a lot of yards on that one. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit behind it. So it's going to be second and long now coming up. And we'll see what the Mustangs do here. It'll be interesting what they do. Are they going to run it again on second and long, or are they going to try to throw it?
Yeah, obviously you see the refs trying to change out the ball, trying to keep the balls dry here. You see guys on the sideline trying to wipe them off. The passing game might be difficult tonight.
This is true.
This is probably run down your throat kind of weather.
Second and 14. Yep, Caleb Deere's going to drop back. He's going to fire, and he finds a man. It's going to be Wilson, and he's going to get inside the 10, around the 5.
And that's why Jeremy Newton's the head coach.
There we go.
Because, hey, right when I say this might not be a position where you feel super comfortable passing the ball, he calls Caleb Deere's name, and Caleb finds Race Wilson down the sideline.
He caught it in stride, was able to get yards after the catch.
So now just at the 5-yard line, let's see if the Mustangs can punch it in early.
It's going to be Kanega up the middle. He's going to get around a yard or two maybe. Not a lot on that one, but still got 3 more tries to punch it in here.
7 minutes to go in the first quarter, and this is what the Mustangs do. They wear the defense down. When you have these long drives where you think that you might actually get a stop, then they pick up the first down. They run a couple more plays. It really does wear you down over time, and by the fourth quarter, you can see the defense hands
Legs
on the
dead.
hips, looking like they're sucking air, and that makes it really, really hard to make the tackle.
This first drive's already gone over 5 minutes. Kanega up the middle again. He's going to punch it in for the first touchdown of the 2022 campaign. Let's go, baby. Mustangs are on the board.
Hey, we said before the game we were going to hear a lot from Isaac Kanega. Everybody thought, hey, you can't replace a Josh Hendricks, and you probably really can't. But, boy, you look at the size of Kanega. He is as close to a replica of Josh Hendricks, and he is going to do this over and over and over again to the defense all year. I'm glad the kid's put in a ton of work. I'm really glad for the kid. He gets the first touchdown of the year.
So Chase Adlin, he plays soccer as well, so he's actually a pretty good kicker. We'll see if he can make the first PAT of the season. Kick is up, and it is good. 7-0.
So with that, we'll take a quick break. Mustangs come out early, 7-0 lead over Legacy. Let's see what Legacy can do when they get the ball when we come back.
In this place, we see potential like nowhere else. Here, vision is boundless. That's why we never settle. We look for the moments when everything becomes possible. The moments that inspire us to make every day better. In this place, there's no such thing as good. There's only great. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
So we are back after that short commercial break. The Mustangs just punched in. It was punched in by Kanega 5 minutes and 22 seconds into the game. And, there's some big plays on that drive. The Mustangs did throw it. In case you missed it, Caleb Deere connected to Race Wilson, and Race Wilson was able to get inside the 10 and be pushed out of bounds around the 5.
I think, going 1 for 1 on the first drive with a big pass play, that's got to feel good for Deere. Anytime that you're taking over as the starting quarterback and the first pass is not only completed, but it's completed with great yardage down the field, that's got to feel really good. That calms the nerves a little bit. That second drive out, you're not going to feel as much stress. And great for Deere to get that ball, and great for the offensive line, too.
It's pretty impressive. They have to wipe the ball a couple times down there as the rain is starting to come down here. Just a little sprinkle.
Little pooch kick.
Little pooch kick, and yes, it's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be a flag, unfortunately, for the Mustangs. So the Sabres will get the ball starting at the 40.
And this is probably some of the question marks for this team have to be on the defensive side of the football. Certainly, obviously, we talked about Menz. We talked about Renner. They're certainly great players, really at every level of the defense. Defensive line, linebacker, and the cornerbacks and safeties. They all are very good. But it's hard to replicate what we did last year with, I think, 5 shutouts. And obviously, you can't expect to repeat that again. But is this defense built for the long haul? That's what we're going to have to see, because some of these guys are untested.
And actually, the ball is going to start here at the 35 after the penalty there, kicking it out of bounds. It's going to be a short run to the right side, 1 to 2 yards on that play.
Nice job there for the Mustangs to pinch up that hole right away. I think that was the left linebacker there that was getting that one. Renner, I think, cleaned it up.
Carl Henry was the guy who got the carry for the Sabres there on their first offensive play of the season. Second and 8 now.
Shotgun formation. Strong side, and there you go. Oh, you got the first.
Nice.
First
tackle, but it's going to be tackled in the backfield.
Carter Menz gets in the backfield like that. It was a snap of a finger,
2 seconds. Yep.
and he was there to blow up that play. He's mad that he didn't get the sack because he was back there, but the Mustangs were there to clean it up after him. But that really started with that speed on the edge.
Ben Watson had nowhere to go on that. And he faked the handoff to Henry, too.
And now you're sitting at the 3rd and long, and we talked about this. In this weather, you can't be able to be in those long situations. You've got to be able to pick up good yardage on 1st and 2nd down. Let's see what Legacy does here.
They're going to go to the air, I believe. 3rd and 13. Yep, Watson drops back. He's going to dump it off. Oh, and he dropped it. Henry dropped it.
That was a forward pass, and he couldn't even get the screen dump pass off there, so that means it's going to be 4th down. Mustangs are going to get the ball back here, and just like that, Mustangs drive down the field, they score, they get a 3-and-out. Great start for Sheyenne.
Quick defensive stop. Yep, that's a bad case of slippery hands right there. Henry dropped it due to the rain coming down
and this,
making the ball wet.
Weather like that, you can't really look out in front of you. You got to bring the ball in first.
Watch it in.
It's just going to be tough to bring that ball in with that slippery of a ball. So here they are in a punt formation. High snap. Barely gets it off.
That was number 40, Weisco with the punt.
A lot of pressure on the punter there, and the ball gets up to the 45 before it is nearly
Decent
fumbled
punt.
and then covered up, I think, by number 1. That might be Dylan Bile. And the Mustangs will have the ball here. 1st and 10, almost on positive side of the field. So
Not a bad punt, but, you know, Mustangs are going to get it at the 45. That's still great field position, so we'll see how they do here on the second drive here.
Well, the first time they stayed it a lot in tight flex. There wasn't a lot of flair coming out of that offense. I'd be surprised if they don't go right back to what worked the first time around. Here's Kanega, big hole.
Here we go. He's going to cut back to the right just a bit. Gets across the 50.
Left side of that line getting a nice push. I believe that is the side that our previous starter, Mason Hart, is on, and that might be Oakley Brown that's really kind of getting the push on the left tackle position.
You know, those guys up front, you know, nowadays in football, and it's always kind of been like that. You know, the offensive line most of the time doesn't get a lot of credit. Here's Wilson now up the middle. Nice gain there. Gets across the 45.
And both of the running backs knew right now from the slot position and Kanega in the fullback position are planting the feet and getting down, picking up those 4 and 5 yards. You know, probably the worst thing you can do in conditions like this and early in the season is dance in the backfield. Mustangs right now, 1 cut, go. And that's really producing.
3rd and 1. It's going to go to Kanega, and he's going to pick up the first down. Mustangs move the chains just like that. And it's going to be a new set of downs here, right around the 42.
4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Mustangs already looking to make their second scoring drive happen.
That's another Mustangs first down. 1st and 10 from the Sabres 43.
Oh, there we go, drop
it's
back.
It's going to be a play action. Deer fires, and that's going to be sailed long. He was looking for Race Wilson there once again.
Looked like all 3 guys for the Mustangs got past their defenders.
That would have been a touchdown.
Knodel on the left side. It was Rar up the slot, and it looks like Race Wilson up the right-hand side. All of them get by, but,
he was wide open. That would have been a touchdown. It was just a bit, you know, it was just a little too far out in front of him. But great try, great try.
Tough to make those passes sometimes when you see 3 guys. You don't know. It's hard. You see them open. You kind of fire it too quickly sometimes instead of putting the touch on it.
This one's going to go to Rar. He's going to get a nice gain here. It's going to be 3rd and 6 coming up here.
I think that was Race Wilson on the pickup there. Falling forward, picking up about 4. So now we have a 3rd and about 5 or 6. We'll call it a long 5.
Was that Race? I apologize for that. It looked like Caden got the ball there based on the camera here.
Oh, great run there up
there
the middle.
Kanega with a nice gain. Right up the middle. Big hole there.
Almost looked like Deer quick snapped them, and the defensive line wasn't even down and ready for that right away. And Kanega just shot through that first hole and got past the linebackers, picked up the first down.
1st and 10 from the Sabres 30-yard line.
Still in tight flex.
This time it is going to be Rar to the right side. He's just going to try to push his way through there.
You know, Rar's statistics last year probably
they were affected a little bit because he was out for a couple games due to an injury.
He did have that injury, and you know, coming back probably wasn't super healthy, even on those first few weeks coming back. And it's tough to come back from those shoulders. Last year, the Mustangs overcame a lot of injuries early in the season. It seemed like everybody in their dog had a collarbone injury, and the Mustangs were able to battle through that. That shows how their depth pays off.
It's going to go with Kanega once again. Great gain, around 6 yards, maybe just short. We'll see if the chains move here.
It's going to be real close, and it looks like
close.
I think they are going to give him the first down.
Yep, move the chains.
And you can see, you know, we'll take a shot maybe of the fans here at the stadium. There are umbrellas every which way. Hard to even see how many people are in the stands because the rain is really starting to come down here, and it looks like it might penetrate the field here for most of this game. Oh, great cut.
Great cut to the left side there. That's going to be Race Wilson with the carry. He's going to be tackled right around the 15.
So this is that zone where you always want to put points on the board when you get this deep. And so make sure that you don't have any negative plays, no turnovers, smart with the football. The one cut and go kind of system is working really well. I'd be surprised if they don't keep going right to that.
It's going to be Rar.
Nice tackle by the linebacker there for Legacy. Stood him up pretty quickly. Rar was unable to drive forward on that one, so now we're going to look at about a 3rd and 3-ish. Plays coming in here from Deere after the communication from Newton. And they are calling it a 3rd down and 3.
38 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 3rd and 3. 3rd and short.
Nice drive there.
Trying to push his way towards the first down. See if he gets it here.
I think he had to get across the 10, and I think he did. I think they're going to say that's a first down inside the 10-yard line now.
Yep.
So if he got inside the 10, there we go. Now we got to go 4 plays to the end zone. Let's see if the Mustangs can pull this one off.
1st and goal. It's going to be from the 9, just inside the 10.
1st and goal for the Mustangs from the 9.
Oh, and Kanega stuffed right at the line. Great defensive play there made by multiple Sabre defenders there.
Yeah, that might be one of those momentum kind of tackles here. Legacy is really kind of they need something good to happen to slow these Mustangs down, and right now, they need some way to stop the Mustangs from getting in. That tackle makes things a little bit more interesting at 2nd and 10. With that, Jackson, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in a second.
Mustangs lead 7-0 after the first quarter. All right, folks, we are back. The second quarter is about to get underway here as they're going to switch sides now as the Mustangs are going to be going towards the south end zone. And, they're going to try to punch it in and get a 14-0 lead here, assuming Chase Allen makes the PAT.
And for the Mustangs, that's a great script for the first quarter. They possess the ball for, almost the entirety of it, all but 3 plays and the punt. And so that's great. They moved the ball in the first drive. Stuck it in the end zone. They showed something in the passing game that has to keep the defense honest. And obviously, for me, the offensive line, which was Mason Hart and 4 new players, they've proven today that there's something to this group too. And so I think we're going to see a pretty strong punch it in your chin kind of approach from the Mustang offense.
As we start the second quarter, Cheyenne has
Here we go. 2nd and goal from the 10.
And there's the pass.
Caleb Deere is going to look for number 14.
That's Knodel.
Yep, Aiden Knodel.
He looks familiar. So that was just out of the reach of Knodel there on a little bit of a drag. Pretty good coverage there by Legacy, and so that leads us now into the 3rd and 10 situation.
Should have dove for that one.
I guess so. He is faster than his dad. I would have still been at the line.
All right, 3rd and goal here from the 10. I'm assuming the Mustangs are going to go to the air again here.
You'd like to think that they're
like
thinking, but they're probably thinking 2 plays here. Maybe not, and that's a nice read there.
Oh, it's going to be fake. Caleb Deere's going to get up, and he's going to punch it in. He's going to get a rushing touchdown here. Dropped back and looked to go to the air, but then he faked it. Right up the middle, touchdown.
Great call by Jeremy Newton. Everybody was thinking pass, including you, Jackson.
Yep, fooled me.
Hey, Deere did a nice job, took 1 step back. That was QB draw all the way.
Nice
Linebackers split out. By the time they read that he was coming up the gut, it was lights out.
On to attempt the extra point is number 36, Chase Adlin.
All right, let's see if Chase Allen can connect on another one here and be 2 for 2 here. Snap spot, right footed kick is up, and it is good. 14-0.
11:50 to go in the second quarter. Script is looking good for the Mustangs thus far. 2 for 2 on offense.
2 for 2 on defense.
There you go. We'll be right back. See what the Legacy can answer with their offense on the field.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
So we're back here. The second quarter just got underway, and Caleb Deere punched it in off of a QB draw, and the Mustangs lead 14-0 here. So they're 2 for 2 on offense, and they've also gotten 2 stops here. Or actually, excuse me, they got 1 stop. So they're 2 for 2 on offense, and we'll see if they can get another stop here against the Sabres.
You know, last time the punt went out of bounds on a little pooch kick. We'll see if the Mustangs try a different approach. Looks like the strategy tonight might be to just kick it away from the guys and be okay with the fact that you're giving the ball at the 35 and no big plays. So here comes the kick.
Here's Adlin. It's going to be another little squib up the middle. It's going to be received right around the 26. And the Mustangs will stop him right around the 38, so it's going to be a 12-yard return.
Good idea there by the Mustangs. Slippery ball. That's probably a tough one to grab. Yeah. The ball pops right up into the breadbasket, and he's able to recover and get moving forward. So they'll get the ball right around the 40, I think.
Sabres take over 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
All right, Sabres trying to see if they can get some momentum here on the offensive side as they got stopped last time, 3 and out. It's going to be a handoff to Henry up the middle. And not going to get not a lot of room for him on that one.
A lot of blue helmets meet him at the football.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to take the time to remind you that Essentia Health is proud to sponsor Sheyenne High School Mustang Media's team and this broadcast.
We do appreciate all of our sponsors that make these broadcasts happen. We will say only 2 days of school. It was tough to kind of get everything organized and get all the kids kind of figured out, so we appreciate all the people that did that. Jackson, obviously, that's you included. Jacob Fisher, our producer, who works tirelessly. Nobody works as hard as Jacob. And, all the camera people, we have photographers on the field, Mustang Media back at it.
It's been a blast.
Tackle in the backfield there. That turns the sticks back around.
Urlacher had nowhere to go on that.
Aaron Urlacher on the carry. Tackled by number 9.
That was Marcus Johnson, I think, that maybe made the first stop. And Marcus Johnson, he has a nose for the football. I watched him a lot on special teams. He wasn't able to maybe get a lot of playing time because he was sitting behind Tribe, who was an all-state guy. But Marcus Johnson, I saw him on special teams. I said, this kid can tackle. He knows how to hit.
Great wrestler, too.
Great wrestler. So good to have him out there.
All right.
4 wide now here. Trips right.
3rd and 11. Mustangs are smelling another 3 and out here. Watson drops back. Pass is caught, but it's not going to be enough for the first down.
Great coverage there, keeping that's Ty Schlichting, which we'll have to talk a little bit about Ty Schlichting. He got his heels right on the first down marker. He made the tackle right in front of it, put a 4th down position. I got to give a good shout-out to Ty. He got to play a whole 1 play last year in football and broke his collarbone. He is a special athlete. We see it in track. You got to see it last year. But he had to sit out the whole year last year. He is a tremendous football player. He is speed. And so that was a great play. Good to have him back on the field.
So it's going to be a 7-yard reception for Aaron Urlacher on that last play.
Fumble on the punt.
Fumble
Let's
on
see
the
if they
punt.
can get it off.
And he's going to – oh, it's deflected straight up.
I think he did get the kick off a little bit, and that gets the special team coaches excited. And that's Karch on the defensive coordinator just jumping out there. Hey, Karch, man, I talk about it. You're not a young pup anymore. Don't get hurt out there, man. I know you're excited, but God, that was a great play. Mustangs put that pressure on, and now they flip the field. Mustangs going to be
deep in
leaning right on that
legacy
defense
territory.
again.
Deep in legacy territory here.
And they've had a couple of snaps here that were difficult. I'm going to imagine that if they come into that punt situation again, the Mustangs are going to pin their ears back and say, hey, let's go after the football. They're having a hard time delivering that snap.
Nick Renner, Carter Menz, and Ty Schlichting were all pumped up there on the sideline.
So we'll see what the Mustangs can pull off here on their third drive. Already put in 2 touchdowns. Tight flex again.
It's going to go to Kanega up the middle. He had the first touchdown of the game for the Mustangs, and he's going to pick up around a couple yards there.
I didn't even notice this, but Bryce Kane is actually in the game. I wasn't sure if he was actually going to
Really?
play. He's been out for a little while due to illness, and I wasn't sure if he was going to get in the game. He was an offensive lineman that played a lot of important minutes for us last year, and he is a mountain of a man.
Oh, 6'8".
So at the left tackle spot, good to have him in there. Great run here.
Let's go. Come on, Caden. Caden Rahr gets inside the 20.
Good to see Caden driving those feet. Once he hits that contact, still pushing, and that's where you pick up those kind of important 5, 6, 7 yards that really make the difference between, whether you pick up that first down, whether you get that touchdown. Driving the feet, and that was a really good drive of the feet there by Caden Rahr.
And what do you know? The Mustangs are in the red zone. This one's going to go to, I think that's going to be Pinu.
Braden is in the game. Yeah, it does look like that was a good run there by Braden Pinu. He's obviously the younger brother of Barika Pinu, who is at NDSU and had a great article about Barika in the forum a couple weeks ago talking about his readiness and how he's ready to start having some important minutes at running back for the Bison.
Caleb Deere's going to keep it now, and he's going to try to go up the middle here.
First option play for the Mustangs on the outside there. They were looking to run a little option with Deere and Pinu, and Legacy sniffed it out, but good read there by Deere. He was able to get the ball at least up the field for a positive yardage.
3rd and short now. Have 3 yards here to get to convert here for first down. 7:41 to go here in the second quarter.
Again, tight flex. Deere in the gun.
It's going to go to Caden Rahr.
No room there on
stuffed at the line.
Looking inside the right tackle, and that was all pinned up on the inside by Legacy.
But it is 4th down, deep in Legacy territory here. So the Mustangs are going to go for it. Really nothing to lose on this play.
And this is probably the yardage where you feel like you can probably do a couple different things. You can run it, you can pass it, and they are going to run it.
It's going to go to Kanega.
I think he probably did get the push he needed to get about a yard past the marker.
We'll see. And
yep, he did move the sticks.
Yep. First down.
Good to see Kanega. Looks like he is not hesitating at all. Once he gets that ball, he finds one hole, he goes, and he runs somebody over. So when you're that size and your legs are that big, that's what you want the running back to do. Lay the hit on the defender, lean forward, and make it tough for them to meet you in the hole.
So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 7. Mustangs trying to go 3 for 3 here on their offensive drives. And Caleb Deere's going to keep it.
Oh, good.
And he's going to get in. Spin move. Touchdown. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the evening. And the Mustangs have a 3-score lead now.
You talked about it, Jackson, pregame. He's a runner, too. He's slippery.
Scrambling.
And we saw this from Warkentine last year. You see this triple option kind of system where you have the runners on the edge in the slot, and then you get the fullback, And then after a while, you forget that the quarterback can run too, and then boom. And Newton does a great job of timing that run and waiting until using it at an opportune time. And Workentine was great at it for the last 3 years. Looks like Deer's picked up on that same treat.
Snap spot. Right-footed kick is up. It went through and is good. Yeah, Chase Allen's 3 for 3 on PATs, 21-0. That's a pretty good lead, and the Mustangs show no signs of slowing down. We're going to take a quick break here. Mustangs lead 21-0 with 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back after Caleb Deer punched it in to the end zone for the second time, and for the third time as a team for the Mustangs, and it was Caleb Deer's second rushing touchdown. Isaac Kanega had the first rushing touchdown, and it is 21-0. Chase Adams 3 for 3 on PATs.
6.5 to go here. You'd think Legacy down 21-0. They are going to have to start doing something to get themselves back in the game. This drive, not that you ever want to say in the first half something is do or die, but boy, the momentum is all in the favor of the Mustangs right now, and if they can't figure out an answer here, this game could stay lopsided.
Great squib kick there. Oh! The Mustangs got it!
Oh.
They got it! Are you kidding me?
We said it the last time. That squib kick, it is really tough in this weather. Great call again by special teams coach. I think that was actually Newton that called that one. And great job. I'm not sure who actually recovered. I think it was Ty Schlichting.
It was Schlichting, yep.
Yeah, we talked about his speed. Boy, he beat everybody down the field, slid right in there, recovered that. Hey, great job, Ty Schlichting. That's speed wins, and speed won on that play.
And Rott's fired up there. He's the defensive backs coach for the Mustangs.
So that already, again, we said how important the drive was going to be for Legacy. They don't even get one, and now the defense has got to have an answer here for the Mustang offense, because if this flips 28-0 before the half,
that's tough to come back from.
There ain't a halftime speech on the planet that makes that an easy answer.
So 2 3-and-outs and a kickoff recovery. Caleb Deer's going to throw, and he was looking for Dylan Bile. Underthrown there.
Dylan Bile up the seam. Looked like he had might have been the linebacker on coverage there. Maybe it was a safety. Did have his back turned. Probably had a line on the inside. Might have just had a little bit of a distraction from the
I believe that was Mitchell.
Blocked the vision, and I think that was enough to stop that from being completed. So
Isaac Mitchell was there in Dylan Bile's face.
So now we got 2nd and 10. Still in tight flex. Deer still in the shotgun.
This one's going to go. It's going to be a handoff to Wilson. He's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 3rd and long now, right after the kickoff recovery.
So now with a 3rd and 10 situation, this might be a formation that Legacy hasn't seen yet. I'm not sure if they're going to come back in a tight flex in this position. And so we'll see if Legacy has an answer for probably something they haven't seen a lot on film. And I was wrong, coming right back in the tight flex. So we'll see what they have right coming out of this.
Caleb Deer's going to drop back, goes to the left just a bit, looks for Wilson. That's underthrown. Incomplete, though. Great defense by, I believe that's number 2, Aaron Urlacher.
Yeah, Wilson did not have any separation from the defender. Maybe Deer got a little bit lucky throwing that pass
on the
front side. And that might be one that Deer looks at later and says, live to play another down. You probably weren't going to complete that one. And so if you're going to fire it where the defense can't touch it. Hey, fortunate there. Get another opportunity. And now they come out wide.
So it's going to be 4th and long. Obviously, we'll see if they go with the draw here, but I believe they're going to pass it. Yep, it's going to be a quick pass. And that is dropped by Wilson. Slipped right through his hands. Hey, that's what the rain does to the football. makes it slippery.
Yeah, and that's the first turnover on downs that Legacy was able to convert with. So after the turnover on the kickoff, they did have an answer. So, you know, I guess at least Legacy does have that going for them here. They are pinned a little bit deep with about 5.5 to play. So the drive that we talked about before the special teams play now comes into play. They really do have to find an answer here, down 21-0 with just over 5 to play.
This is just their third offensive drive here. They're 0 for 2.
QB draw.
And Watson's going to go up the middle.
Number 8, Logan Miller on the keeper.
Pick up about 3, I think, or so on the play.
Second and 5 coming up.
Back by number 5, Ruben Dye. Bring up 2nd and 5 for the Sabres.
Shotgun formation again.
2nd and 5. Motion here.
Another QB draw.
It's going to be a fake handoff, and just a couple yards on that.
Logan Miller on the carry for the Sabres.
Mustang fans, Belbing Mortgage is proud to support the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs. Rates are great, so if you're considering moving up or maybe even becoming a homeowner for the first time, talk to the experts at Bell. We'll make your home happen. Belbing Mortgage, equal housing lender. Go Mustangs.
I'll bring a 3rd down and 2 for the Sabres.
It's going to be 3rd and short here for the Sabres.
Mustang defense.
This is one where the Legacy.
They haven't picked up a first down yet.
Yeah, I mean, they really got to find a way to get 2 yards here to keep this drive going. Another QB draw.
Watson's going to go up the middle, and he's going to get the Sabres his first down.
Miller on the quarterback keeper for the Sabres.
So all 3 plays thus far for Legacy were QB draws, and they were able to soften up the interior of the defense just enough to pick up the first down here. Now moved it out to the 30-yard line. Just over 4 to play here in the first half. Mustangs up big early. Legacy looking to find an answer to close that gap before the half.
Excuse me, I was reading the number on. It's actually number 8, Logan Miller. Ben Watson is not at quarterback right now. And Miller's going to fire. And he is looking deep there. Intended for number 4, Wyatt Kraft.
In coverage was also number 4. I think that was Noah Olson in coverage. He did slip a little bit, was able to close the gap, I think, so that the pass was a little bit errant, a little bit long. Not a ton of room on that post out, and Noah Olson with nice coverage. He's one of those guys in the back that really offers a lot of flexibility for the Mustangs. He can cover, he can hit, he can tackle.
Great athlete.
And he's a really strong athlete.
All right, now that I got the quarterbacks' names organized here, we got Miller in shotgun formation here.
And we, I think, are going to get a timeout here by Legacy. 3:49 to go. Mustangs up 21-0. We're going to take a quick break.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
All right, folks. We are back here as the Sabres picked up their first down of the evening. So, hey, they're kind of covering up the damage here just a bit. So we'll see if if they can swing some momentum here in their favor.
And that's really important coming out of the half. If you at least feel like you moved the ball on offense, you made a stop on defense, there's actually some positivity in your mind coming into the second half here. If they can get points on the board, obviously the second half plays very differently. If they're not able to put points on the board, then they're really playing a lot of catch-up going into that second half.
All right, Logan Miller in the shotgun formation here. He's going to hand it off to Henry.
Oh, big gap there.
Henry's going to go to the right side. Nice gain there, around 4 to 5 yards.
The 27, Carl Henry on the carry for the Sabres. Stop is made.
That was the kind of pickup that they needed on second down there. Got a little bit behind the sticks on the first on the incomplete pass, and then now you got yourself a reasonable number here at 3rd and 4. Let's see who wins this battle. These are the battles that, at the end of the year, who wins on the 3rd and 4? Is it the offense? Is it the defense? These are those plays that ultimately define both sides of the ball.
3rd and 4. Shotgun. Miller drops back. Looking for number 4. That's Wyatt Kraft with the catch. And that's going to move the chains. Wyatt Kraft gets a first down reception there. Great throw by Logan Miller, sneaking it in there tight. Nick Renner on the tackle.
Anytime you're running across the middle, too, obviously Renner was running behind, but you as a receiver don't know what's out in front of you, and especially if you have to leave your feet, gets a little nerve-wracking, so that's a great catch, not knowing what's going to come after. He took the hit, held on to the ball.
He's been Miller's number 1 target tonight.
Blitz off the edge there.
Henry with the carry here up the middle. A couple yards there.
Stop by number 17, Chase Otterson.
Chase Otterson with the stop.
We talked a little bit about Noah Olson's versatility. We saw him run off the edge there, run a little blitz package. If that play would have gone to the left side, he would have definitely blown that one up, as is. Got a little bit up the middle and picked up about 3. Positive yards here for Legacy on this drive. This is different.
2nd and 7.
And again, another
Shotgun.
blitz.
And Henry has nowhere to go there on the edge.
So I called it the last time with Noah Olson on the right side. This time he comes from the left. This time he makes the play in the backfield.
Great play.
And now Legacy is in a situation, 3rd and 9, where you are probably going to have to drop back. And if you have the preseason pick for player of the year and Carter Menz pinning his ears back, this is probably not the formula that you want. So let's take a look at number 8 on the edge here. He's on the close side of the field to see if Menz is able to make some pressure on the defense or on the offense. He's on your right side.
Logan Miller drops back. He's going to look deep, and that's going to be overthrown, incomplete.
So you can see the strategy. I told you guys to look at Menz on the right-hand side, the near side of the field for the viewer. And they did not only double him on the right side, but they also chipped him with a running back. So they put 3 guys on him on a pass play. But what that means is if you have 3 guys that occupy 1 defender, you got a lot of help on the other side and not the numbers to do it. So unable to complete the pass there. And Menz is going to see that all season because of the kind of player he is.
Miller was looking for Wyatt Kraft there.
So twice now they've struggled with this snap, and they do again, and it's loose again, and again the Mustangs are going to deliver.
Great stop.
A turnover, and it's just, they're really struggling on the punt team. That one actually hit the up man, hit him in the shoulder, so it's 0 for 3 on the snap completion, and that gets the Mustangs off the field, and now they only have 30 yards to go with 1:22.
Well, the Mustangs,
full array of timeouts, too.
Mustangs are 3 for 4 on their offensive drive, so we'll see if their 5th possession here can be scored into the end zone. They're deep in Sabre territory once again here, inside the 40, right around the 35, actually just inside the 35, around the 34. And Caleb Deere is going to roll to his right, and he's looking for, I believe that was intended for Kanega.
So at a minute 22, they do come out passing here, but with 3 timeouts, you really can run the ball still. You can pick up 4 or 5 yards and call a timeout, and get into the play that you want and not worry about the clock. So a lot of options here. So it doesn't even mean at this play right now, at this juncture, you really have to go pass. Certainly the defense is probably thinking, hey, let's not give up a pass play here, but we get another one.
It's going to be play action,
and
it's Dylan Bile, touchdown! Great play action pass there from Caleb Deere. Finds Bile on the seam, and the Mustangs now have a 4-score advantage, 27-0, and that was around a 34-yard touchdown pass right there.
Yeah, and it looked like both options were open on the seam, and again, that's what this triple option does. You look at those guys at the end. That's Knodel and Dylan Bile. They're right outside. They're almost like outside tackles. They're blocking. You're not paying attention to them. They slip that seam. Boom, touchdown.
Talk about fantasy points in your QB1. Caleb Deere with 2 rushing touchdowns and now a passing touchdown. And Chase Allen's BAT is up and good. 4 for 4, 28-0.
Hey, we're going to take another quick timeout here. 1:11 to go in the first half. Mustangs up 28-0.
All right, folks, we're back. Caleb Deere just connected to Dylan Bile there on a 34-yard touchdown reception. And the Mustangs, they're up 28-0. No signs of slowing down here in the season opener. 1:11 to go here in the first half.
You know, we talked about the offense. We talked about the defense. We didn't talk about the special teams. And already the special teams for the Mustangs have come up big on 3 punt plays and on a big kickoff. Fumble recovery by Ty Schlichting. Here they are in another one. Legacy's got to be able to get this one going in the right direction. Another squib kick. And this one is recovered.
It's going to be received right around the 23. He's going to be tackled right around the 30. So 7-yard return. That was number 2, Aaron Urlacher on the return.
So now with 1:06 to go, probably a little softer defense from the Mustangs at this point. Keep the guy in front of you kind of mentality. And probably your edge rushers are going to be looking to get downhill. Now, it might be that Legacy says down 28-0, 1:06 to go. Let's get into the half. Let's get out of the first half. Let's not do anything dumb. Let's not turn over the football. So we'll see each team's strategy coming into this. And he is going under center here.
All right, Logan Miller under center.
And
he's going to hand it off to Henry.
And that does
Tackled.
look to be the approach here, is to let's get the heck out of here.
Nowhere to go for Henry there. Tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Tackled there by Ashton Schaff. Another great tackler, another great wrestler.
Yeah, Ashton and Olsen there were just swallowing Henry there.
I would imagine Coach Lundy is watching this and making sure that he is cheering on his wrestlers because they're making an impact tonight.
30 seconds to go here. Miller under center once again. Hands it off to Henry up the middle, and he's going to get around a couple yards.
And I think maybe at 27 seconds
left.
That might do it
Yep,
for
that's going to do it. Play clock's at
first
33.
Half. Looks like the Mustangs are content with just letting them run it out. And
a lot of positive things in the first half for the Mustangs. I mean, we saw 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 by Caleb Deere, 1 by Isaac Kanega, and then a passing touchdown by Deere to Dylan Bile. We saw kickoff recovery and a few blocked punts. We saw 1 blocked punt deflected straight up in the air, and then another, the punter was tackled in the backfield. So great first half there from the Mustangs, 28-0, utter dominance. You know, something you would expect coming into this matchup.
Well, you might say that, Jackson, but at the same time, this is a brand new season, so they came in. There were probably a lot of high expectations. You know, they've been in the state championship game 3 times in a row. They won it last year. You know, but at the same time, a lot of these guys were untested. It almost looks like exact same formula, exact same results. So with that, we're going to take a halftime break here. We're going to go through some ads and remind you of our sponsors. When we come back, we'll do some first half analysis, and we'll talk about what's going to change in the second half here, if anything, if Legacy is going to be able to tighten up this game a little bit, or if the Mustangs are simply going to run away with it all the way through.
In this place, we see potential like nowhere else. Here, vision is boundless. That's why we never settle. We look for the moments when everything becomes possible. The moments that inspire us to make every day better. In this place, there's no such thing as good. There's only great. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else. In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because this, it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else. In this place, we see potential like nowhere else. Here, vision is boundless. That's why we never settle. We look for the moments when everything becomes possible. The moments that inspire us to make every day better. In this place, there's no such thing as good. There's only great. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Welcome back, folks. We excuse me, we are a few minutes away from getting the second half started here, and just utter dominance, Aaron, from the Mustangs there in the first half, 28-0. It was the momentum's on their side. On the defensive side of the ball, they were getting stops. Offensive side, they were punching it in.
Yeah. So let's take a look at some highlights. We will make sure that we. And that's probably some of the conversation we're going to see today. So we're going to take a look at these highlights here.
Snap. It's a hand off to Rar now. His first carry of the night.
The three-headed monster we talked about in the pregame.
8 yards.
Obviously, all three running backs taking an active part, and Deere at the quarterback position.
Yeah, we saw rushing touchdowns from Isaac Kanega and Caleb Deere. Caleb Deere had 2. Isaac Kanega had 1, and then Caleb Deere threw a passing touchdown to Dylan Bile. We saw Race Wilson and Kane Rar get some nice cuts up the middle into the left and right sides.
And that pass we just saw Race Wilson catch, and this is going to be the Kanega touchdown.
Yep.
That was the first pass of the season for Deere, and I think that's really important because obviously that calmed his nerves. He played a great first half.
Absolutely, and his first high school start here as a junior, coming in after Grand Morganton graduated, a lot of experience you're losing there, but Caleb Deere is showing a lot of promise.
And then we had the shot up the seam here as you see the defender kind of bite on the outside receiver. That leaves Kyle wide open up the seam. Deere hits him in stride. That puts us up 28-0. We didn't throw into the highlight package, and we didn't talk about it before the game, Jackson, but we talked about offense, we talked about defense, and, boy, special teams came up big tonight.
Absolutely. We saw a couple stops on the punts. They blocked a punt, and the punt kind of went straight up in the air and to the left a little bit, and then we saw another play where the punter got tackled, and then we saw a kickoff recovery as well.
So the Mustangs coming back on the field here with 2 minutes. Legacy still in there trying to figure some things out. Boy, great first half, great script for Jeremy Newton. He called the plays that he needed to call. Didn't show too much on film. It's all that tight flex with triple option. And we wondered what the offense and defensive line would be like with the Mustangs with a lot of new faces. Offensive line, I'm going to give a shout-out to Mason Hart and actually I think really the whole offensive line. I saw some great push from Bryce Kane, and I saw some from Oakley Brown as well. So offensive line did a great job.
And who do you think's been standing out to you, Aaron, for defensively?
It's interesting that you say that. We haven't, and I talked to Matt Tribe about this multiple times last year. I said, your tackle total is just going to be really, really low because you guys get off the field so fast. That can be really frustrating when you want to have some stats. And unfortunately for the Mustangs in the first half, there aren't a ton of standout defensive players because they haven't been on the field very long.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's exactly what you want. It's a team game.
Right.
It's complementary football. Defense has played great as a unit. The linebackers have looked really good. Obviously, we knew Nick Renner was going to be really good. We saw some good linebacking out of our 2 wrestlers. Schaff played really well. Marcus Johnson played really well. We saw some really nice plays from Noah Olson.
And Schlichting.
And Schlichting was special on special teams. His speed on the edge made a great tackle to stop him when they were trying to push for a first down. And obviously, we haven't seen Menz other than the first time that they dropped back where he blew up that play and got him way in the backfield. But they've been triple teaming him to shut him down. That's probably really frustrating if you're Menz. By that same token, then you're playing 10 on 8, and there aren't enough hats to block the rest of the guys. So the way that Menz is impacting the game right now, just because of the attention that he draws, there's a reason that he's a Minnesota Golden Gopher.
And it still looks like, though, despite getting triple teamed, it still looks like he's going to get through there and get through those guys and get another sack of his own.
And we're going to see a lot of double teams. It's interesting. Legacy's approach here was not only to double, but to throw a running back on and try to chip him as well. So they're not going to let him win the battle. But at the same time, Menz has got to be okay with just occupying all that attention and doing his job, and he's done that as well.
We saw only 1 Legacy first down, so we'll see if they can get some offense going here in the second half, because right now they really need it.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about maybe some second half adjustments. Maybe we're going to see some new personnel packages, maybe some new personnel. And we'll see what the Mustangs' plan of approach is here for a 28-0 lead over Legacy.
Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
We are 10 seconds away from getting the second half underway here. Welcome back, folks, to our broadcast here on Sheyenne Mustang Media. Mustangs lead 28-0, and we'll see if they, have a little bit of different personnel here in the second half, as we were talking about, Aaron, before our break there. Since they're up by, 4 touchdowns, that's the time, when the lead gets big, you can put in some of your backups and have them get some experience.
Certainly they'll run some tight flex, run the clock a little bit here, limit the possessions for Legacy to have. And if you can do that for a little while, and then maybe throw in your bench players and maybe prevent some injury, that's probably an option as well. But at the same time, it's tough to do that when you have some guys that really haven't played a lot of varsity minutes yet, and you want to give them that opportunity. So that's something that's probably going to have to weigh a little bit on a decision from Jeremy Newton tonight. So,
as you can see, Caleb Deere there, QB1, getting his arm warmed up as the Mustangs are going to kick the ball first here. So Caleb Deere's got to keep his arm warm as the Sabres will get the ball first here in the second half as they deferred after winning the coin toss.
Now the rain's coming down pretty hard again, just like we saw a little bit in the first half. Umbrellas are out. And here goes the second half kick.
Squib kick. It's going to be received right around the 25, tackled right around the 35. 10-yard return there. Aaron Urlacher there on the return.
Special teams has got to feel pretty good about that from Legacy, because that was a struggle in the first half, especially on the squib kick. Especially when this rain is coming down the way it is right now. Now they have an opportunity to see if they can do something offensively that would tighten this game up a little bit and give them some options on the second half. So we'll see what they're going to do here in terms of packages and in terms of play calling.
All right. First and 10 here. Miller under center here. Hands it off to Henry. And he's going to try to get some yards up the middle. Gets around 3 yards or so. Not a terrible gain.
Good job there by Henry, pumping the legs, driving, but there was just too many blue helmets. He wasn't able to occupy any extra yardage there. He did pick up 3. He drove, but too many blue helmets there in his way.
It's going to be 2nd and 7 from the 39. Miller under center once again. It's going to be a handoff.
Nope,
it's going to be a play action. Fooled me there. Miller's going to go around the right side, fake the handoff to Henry on the left side there, and then Logan Miller ran around the right side there. Looking to throw, but decided to take it for himself. Picks up a few yards there. Good play call there by the Sabres head coach there.
Pretty good job there by
Clements.
the Mustangs to release off of the guy in coverage and make the tackle on the QB there without giving up the first down. So that does make a 3rd and 3 situation here. Legacy looking to convert. There's a QB draw.
Miller's going to take it up the middle.
I think he did get enough push there to move the chains.
It's going to be another first down here for the Sabres.
And that has been the most effective play here for the Sabres tonight, is the QB draw. When you do see that pressure from the edge, sometimes the best thing you can do if the running backs are not able to produce in the holes is to fake one of those holes and use that QB draw, get the ends upfield, and then just push the pressure with the quarterback. First and 10 now here for Legacy.
So just the second first down picked up there for the Sabres. Miller's going to be in the shotgun here. Play's going to be waved off here by the refs.
And that is going to be a timeout, I think. 10-10 to go. Couple of first downs here for Legacy. They are moving the football. Their timeout. We'll take a quick break.
Welcome back, folks. 10-10 to go here in the third quarter. As we talked about, Aaron, right before the break, the Sabres are moving the football. They picked up a first down here on their first drive here in the second half.
You know, one thing that both teams can say about tonight, usually in that first game, you got to be real aware of penalties. This has been a very clean game. I haven't even seen the laundry on the field yet once tonight. It hasn't put anybody in a bad situation. So right now, Legacy moving the football.
And Miller's going to drop back. He's going
Again,
to go up the
QB
middle. He's
draw.
going to keep it.
Oh,
Great game. Best run of the night there by Logan Miller. Right around 8 to 9 yards.
and Ruben making a nice tackle there, knifing the quarterback. That makes it tough. You want to pick up those yards.
Lowered his shoulder right into his legs.
Yeah, great tackle there by Ruben. Yeah, he was really, you know, if you know anything about football and teaching the tackling that you have, that was a great job. He comes in, knifes the quarterback, real low tackle, makes it tough. And as a quarterback, you don't really like getting shot at the knees like that. So
It's going to be run to the right side here. And that's going to be a great gain inside the 35. Another first down. Henry with the carry. Best run for him of the night.
easily the best drive for the Sabres tonight. They are
Across
pushing the ball,
midfield.
and it's the right side that's giving them some good luck here. They've been able to find a couple of holes here, one with the QB drive, that one off tackle. Now they got another first down opportunity here with a little over 9 to go in the third quarter.
Well, Aaron, I believe this is the first time the Sabres are in Mustangs territory here. Shotgun, Miller drops back, dumps it off. Looking for Henry there.
That's the second time. Again, rain coming down. That's the second time that little dump pass has gone incomplete. That's tough pass to catch when that ball is slippery, and it's the second time it's just gone through his fingertips. So that puts him at 2nd and 10 now. And if there's one thing that, really does kind of hurt from time to time, it's, just unforced errors. Not that that's necessarily an unforced error given the conditions here tonight, but, you catch that one, you pick up 3 yards, it changes the play call here.
Henry's lining up to Miller's left here. Miller drops back, dumps it off.
Ooh.
And great stop there by number 21.
That's Marcus Johnson again. I told you the kid loves to tackle, and that was a great example of it right there.
Yeah.
He hit him 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so he got his body going in the right direction, delivered the lumber.
Wyatt Kraft had the reception on that play, had nowhere to go.
And now this is a tough situation, obviously, a 3rd and 14.
The drive just stalled there.
Unlikely that the Sabres are thinking that they have to pick it up here on this one play. Something positive in the 5 to 6, 7 yards range gives you an opportunity on 4th down. And that might be the first time we see something in terms of a penalty. And it's another timeout. It was not a penalty.
So Legacy has one left. Legacy has one left.
They know this is do or die time. Got to get one in the end zone here, down 28-0. We're going to take a quick break.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
We're back, folks. Legacy took their second timeout of the second half, so they have one left. 8:14 to go here in the third quarter. You know, their best offensive drive of the evening has really just stalled, and the Mustangs are looking to get another stop here. Third and long. It's going to be 3rd and 14.
Legacy can't panic in this situation. You got to give yourself a chance on 4th down. 5-6 yards here would be ideal.
Miller drops back.
Looking for
He's
more.
He's going to look deep. Overthrown. He's looking for Kraft once again, but that's overthrown by a long shot, and it's going to be 4th and long now. Tough spot here for the Legacy Sabres.
Yeah, and that's not the situation that's going to convert a lot of times. So now, obviously, at 4th and 14, it's going to be difficult for them to double men's in this situation because they're going to have to get a couple of guys down the field, but they might have to double just to buy enough time for their receivers to get 14 yards down the field. So we'll see. Again, men's on this short side. See what he looks like off the edge. Gets a good jump.
Miller drops back. He's going to keep it to the right side. Tries to break free once. Breaks another tackle, and he's finally stopped. Getting tackled right around the 33.
That was actually Chase Otterson on this side that had the good jump on the defensive end that pushed him to the right side. Good pressure from both end spots that we have now. So that is a turnover on downs with 8 minutes to go in the third. And
shutout remains alive.
Yes. Last year the Mustangs took pride in the fact that nobody could score on them and that they
besides Shanley.
Well, Shanley did find a couple of solutions, didn't they? But by and large, people just really, really struggled to move the ball in the Mustangs, and the Mustangs occupied the time of possession. It looks like the same team that we saw last year. The formula is exactly the same. The results look identical.
Isaac Kanega on the carry. First offensive drive here for the Mustangs in the second half. See if they can convert once again and get a 5th touchdown.
And this is where, at this time in the game, 7:30 to go, if the Mustangs pick up a first down or two, you'll probably see the Sabres' first game of the year. Probably conditioning's not perfect yet. Hands will start to get on the hips just because you've been on the field for so long.
Rahr's going to get it to the right side. Cuts back up the middle. Great play there by the Legacy defense. Not a lot of room for Rahr.
Two pretty good defensive stops there on 1st and 2nd down by the Sabres. Plugged the hole pretty nicely. Gang tackling there in the hole is always helpful when you have big, powerful backs like Caden Rahr running in your direction. Mustangs appear to be just fine getting that play clock under 10 seconds every time. Caleb Deere being patient.
3rd and 7. He's going to drop back. Deere's going to scramble to his right. Looking for Rahr there. Throwing it across his body, but it's incomplete. Underthrown there. It's going to be a 4th down here. I believe the Mustangs are going to punt this. Looks like the special teams unit's coming out.
So Sabres struggled to get this long snap converted. Let's see if the Mustangs are able to do their best to get this thing going.
Legacy could capitalize here if the Mustangs do make a mistake. It's going to be a timeout by the Mustangs.
Someone late coming into the game on the punt team there. And so the Mustangs will take a timeout. We will as well. 6:37 to go in the third quarter, 28-0 Mustangs.
We're back, folks. The Mustangs are going to punt the ball here as they are stopped for just the second time this game. And, great energy from the crowd tonight, Aaron, here in the season opener.
Oh,
that's going to be a fair
catch.
Fair catch.
Yeah, that's to be expected. Obviously, student fans coming back that first week of school, all dressed up in theme. It's awesome to see that they're sticking around here with the game at 28-0 and it raining out. So, the Mustang fans, they are faithful. They're coming off the state title. They were excited about it last year. They see the potential of this team this year. New seniors leading the cheering section. They're standing on the railing. They're firing everybody up, and that changing of the guard is just always fun to watch.
That state title was just special, too, because, it got things going for the, a lot of momentum just for, other sports, too. Other sports are coming off state titles of their own, and, coming up short in the Dakota Bowl 2 years in a row, that had to be tough for the Mustang program, but they were able to bounce back last year.
Another QB draw, and this one does go for big yardage.
Miller, he's going to I thought he was going to break free there. He's stopped there. Looks like he's going to get around the end there and go all the way.
That was a pickup of about 12. It looked like it could have been a lot more than that, and so that was a really nice play there for the Sabres on the first play of the drive. You brought up, the fact that the Mustangs won the state football title, but it was just a really good year. We had
baseball and golf won it the spring before that.
Coach, our AD, Corey Herman, said during our pep rally on the first day we had 14 individual state titles as well for the Mustangs this last season. So that was the most in the state. We had the most team titles in the state. So it was just a great year, I think, overall at Sheyenne. And they're looking to repeat that same kind of success this year.
So you got a golf and baseball state title in 2021. Then last fall, football team wins it all. And then you get golf and baseball who go back-to-back this past spring. So we'll see if the football program can do it again this year. 2nd and 4 here. Run up the middle by Henry. And he's going to pick up the first down.
Finding a little success in the interior of the defense right now. A little bit of push there by the Sabres.
Nick Renner with the tackle there.
The QB run game has opened some things up and maybe spread the defense a little thin at the linebacker spot, at the defensive tackle spot, where you have to kind of look at two different guys who might be getting the ball. And right now, Legacy has found a little bit of rhythm. Motion man there.
And Miller's going to keep it.
Ooh, big tackle. That one was men's.
There you go, men's. Got a tackle there.
Yeah, that one was a big old bear hug type of tackle. Little counter play, quarterback counter. Looked like off the edge there. It was going to maybe be a handoff. Maybe he was just had a one read there, took it up the gut there as the quarterback and ran into the bear hug of men's. 2nd down here.
It's going to be 2nd and long. 2nd and 8. Miller's going to hand it off to Henry. It's going to be a dive up the left side. Carl Henry's been the main workhorse tonight for the Sabres out of the backfield.
Rain is definitely coming down now here at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. You can see it. But this is football weather, Jackson. You got to love this.
Absolutely.
The only thing that, the fields like this, they don't bring the mud, so
it's going to be
hey, is that the first flag of the game?
First flag of the game.
And they're going to say offense or offsides on the defense there.
That 5-yard penalty will result in a first down for Bismarck Legacy.
So it's going to be another first down for Legacy.
They're able to move the chains with that. So 3:52 to go in the third. Legacy now moving the ball.
They got a chance here to get on the board.
And this is that we talked about this before, Jack. This is the part of the field where you really want to deliver, though.
Miller drops back. Great snap. And that goes right through number 11, Evan Hoffer's hands.
That's Ruben Dia in coverage again. Able to close that gap, and he had some space there, and unfortunately tried to turn without the football. And Ruben comes up a little bit late, but able to kind of close that gap and put enough pressure that maybe distracted the receiver a little bit, and now we have a 2nd and long. And this is the last time Legacy made this move. They got an incomplete pass on first down, then they got behind the sticks, and then the 3rd and 4th down were just too much to ask against this Mustang defense. So certainly right here, 2nd and 10, Legacy has to get some positive yardage and get that moving in the right direction here. Oh, Mustangs collapse on that one.
Hand off to Henry, and they just the Mustangs just swallow Henry right there up the middle.
Tackle stopped by number 25, Ashton Schaff.
Schaff with the tackle again.
And we talked about injuries last year. Schaff's coming off of a wrestling injury that actually I think put him out for almost all of the season. So it's good to see him back and playing again. And he's obviously going to be a critical part of the Mustang interior.
Yeah. Well, the wrestling team, Aaron, came off their most dominant season in their program's history. So,
yeah, if you weren't able to watch any of the streams of the Mustang wrestling team last year, you better get on it this year. And again, I think that one's going to be men's.
In the backfield, Carter Menz with the sack.
So that's one thing that you're going to see. There's a reason that the guy's a 3-star, because you can double him, He's going to be relentless. He's not going to quit till he gets his. And that time he was able to get all the way to the quarterback. And now you're in big trouble situation here with 4th and 16.
And you don't see many Minnesota commits out of West Fargo, North Dakota. That's for sure.
No, you do not. 4th and 16, you can look at the playbook. You can spin the card. You can twist it around, turn it upside down. You probably don't have 4th and 16 on that play card. You're going to have to dial up something that you haven't thought about in great detail. There's something down the seams.
Miller's going to look deep.
Oh, and they did convert.
He finds a man, and Legacy's going to get on the board. It's a touchdown. So there goes the shutout.
They had some time in the pocket.
Nice
on
play
4th
there.
and 16. Hey, I said there wasn't a lot of plays, and Legacy found one. A lot of time in the pocket. Great delivery on the pass. Able to convert.
I believe that pass was caught by Aaron Urlacher. So he gets a receiving touchdown for the Sabres. Snap is good. Left-footed kick is up, and it is good. So 28-7 now. Legacy's on the board, and hey, if you're Legacy, you got to be proud of that. You got on the board, and, you're kind of playing for pride at this point, being down so big. But, that could spark a momentum change. You never know.
This is sports, man. Anything can happen. So right now, 28-7 there. We're still in the third quarter. Don't go away, folks. The way I see it, anything can happen in sports, and it often does. So we'll be back in a little bit.
We're back here. Third quarter almost coming to a close. Less than 2 minutes left. Legacy just came off a passing touchdown there. Logan. Thinking of the NDSU quarterback, Cam Miller. Logan Miller connected with Aaron Urlacher there for a long touchdown pass. So Legacy got on the board there. 28-7 now. And this is going to be Wilson on the return. Ooh, big hit there.
I'm not exactly sure who hit who on that one. It kind of looked like most of the hit was by the offensive player. Wilson put his shoulder down, and
he won that.
You could hear the pads up here. So now the Mustangs, with 1:52 to go in the third quarter, probably going to do their best to, again, I would suspect, Jackson, we're going to see that tight flex triple option. See if you can milk a few first downs here, run the clock. We saw a couple times last year in this situation where the Mustangs basically ran out the clock. Can they do it again tonight?
It's going to be a handoff up the middle here.
Number 20, Isaac Kanega.
It's going to be Kanega with the carry.
And that's the guy that really, when you get in these situations, you hand it off to him and you expect 3-4 yards, 3-4 yards, 3-4 yards. And that's the kind of thing that really makes it almost impossible to make a comeback here. And so we'll see if the Kanega can keep doing that, keep making his push. Second of about 5 or so, 4.
going to be hand up to the right side. I believe that's Pinu.
He's got a burst.
Yeah, it is. He's got a – yeah, you're right. Pinu just bursted up that right gap there.
I was talking to Barry a little bit in the comments today, and I kept grabbing his arm, his bicep. I said, Barry, did you even know where the weight room was this summer? Of course, obviously I'm being sarcastic. Barry's put together. There ain't a lot of fat on that kid, and he's a whole lot of muscle. So
he's always been like that. But he's gotten even bigger from lifting.
Oh, yeah, and the bang for your buck that you're going to get from him, and he's another one just like Ray. So you put that 1 foot in the ground, he can make some special things happen real quick.
Handoff. Or excuse me, it's going to be a fake handoff. Deer's going to keep it. Goes around the left side, and he's going to get a big gain here inside the 30. And he's tripped up right around inside the 25. Great carry from Caleb Deer.
Geez, that was an option play, and actually Deer didn't have anybody in front of him, and he could have pitched that ball, and he didn't have anybody in front of him. Deer did the smart thing. He said, hey, I got the edge. I'm going to go. Big pickup there. He almost chased the ambulance down. Coming down.
Coming down Veterans Boulevard.
Coming down Veterans.
Caleb Deer's been putting up quite the fantasy performance, as I said right before halftime. 2 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown, a couple of big runs.
Caleb really making some noise on the baseball field, too. Boy, he had a great year as a pitcher.
It's going to be hand off to Pinu.
Doing a good job, Barry. At his size and speed, sometimes he wants to dance. You can tell that he's been coached really well to get that one right foot cut, boom, downfield, and he pushes.
No dancing.
I did say Deer has really gotten a lot of attention lately on the baseball field. Rumor has it he's hitting about 90 on the gun. You're throwing 90-mile-an-hour fastballs in high school, you're gonna turn a lot of heads. So,
yeah, he was one of the Patriots' go-to guys on the mound this past summer.
Yeah, they had a lot of great pitching, but at the end of the day, obviously Case and Clemenson is lights out as well. But boy, with those two and Hammond, they were a spectacular trio of pitchers.
And they won that big tournament down in Omaha. They were the first, Patriot squad out of all the past Legion teams, the past Patriot squads, to win that tournament down in the Omaha. So that was huge.
Yeah, obviously that's a pretty special team. Bodell back-to-back with his squad in the high school level, and they obviously performing well in Legion as well. Of course, that's a combined team with the Packers.
That was the goal. They went to a tournament in Omaha. They didn't do so hot down there. That was now that I remember, they went 0-5 down there. It was the Gopher Classic down in the cities.
Yeah, and there were I think 100 and some teams in that tournament. They had a spectacular performance. So, again, a lot of guys on this field that are really they've done it before. Maybe not on the football field, but there are a lot of people on this team that have a pedigree of winning. So we're getting into the fourth quarter now here, 28-7. Mustangs moving the football here, almost into the red zone, just outside the red zone right now. Using Pinu here with a couple of quick interior cuts. Still Deer under center.
Second and 2 for the Mustangs.
It's going to be handoff to Kanega. And he's going to break free on the left side a little bit. Break some tackles. Kanega trying to get into the end zone, just short. Excuse me. Excuse me. That was
Brian Bradshaw. Heck of a run there by Brian Bradshaw, getting some time in at running back.
Nowhere.
Boy, he was all
looked like Isaac there, but it was actually number 11. I apologize for that. Brian Bradshaw with a great run there.
Boy, he was dancing all over the place. They couldn't get him down.
Some of these guys, man, I'm telling you, they just look so similar out there on the field.
Is that the X button that you're hitting on the PlayStation to make them spin like that? I don't know how the controller works, but that's video game stuff right there. Again, and there
be a touchdown. It's gonna be by.
That's Bradshaw.
Bradshaw with back-to-back good runs, and it's gonna be a fifth touchdown of the evening for the Mustangs.
You gotta love that.
Rushing.
Bradshaw comes in. He shows really something impressive on his first carry. They give him the ball right back, and he delivers.
I believe he's a new kid in town. Just moved to West Fargo this year.
So now the extra point. Adlin's been perfect thus far on the season. Good snap.
And the right-footed kick up. Right-footed kick is up and good. 5 for 5 on PATs for Adlin. So, yeah, how about that? Brian Bradshaw with the big run, and then he punches it in around the left side for his first rushing touchdown of the season.
So now we're sitting at 35-7 with 11:37 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break.
We're back, folks. Brian Bradshaw punched it in for his first touchdown of the season. It's 35-7 now. The Mustangs with the lead. Mustang Media wants to take a few seconds to remind you that Essentia Health is the premier sponsor of Mustang Media. Essentia Health like nowhere else.
Now it's really starting to come down here.
Oh, yeah, it's pouring.
11:37 to go. I think both teams probably are feeling like in these conditions, let's
It's going to be a squib kick. Oh, almost fumbled it. What's going to be a nice return here up the gap. And he finds a lane. He cuts back to the left, and he's inside the 20.
Ty Schlichting might get him.
The 10. He trips him up. Ty Schlichting with the speed came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he ain't going to lose a lot of those races, but a heck of a return there by Legacy, getting it all the way down inside the Mustang 5-yard line here.
Trying to see who that was on the camera here with that. You know, that Legacy guy, he had quite the speed there.
He's almost fortunate that it took him a while to get the ball, because his right knee was down. He would have been down at the point of receiving that ball, but the ball didn't get to him right away. He stood up and boom, shot that. And hey, heck of a play there by Ty Schlichting to run him down too.
He came out of nowhere.
35-7. It's easy to just say, that one's going to get to the end zone, but Ty says, no, nobody beats me in a race.
Ty Schlichting came absolutely out of nowhere. All of a sudden, I see him out of the corner of my eye, and he just trips up the returner there, saves a returning touchdown there. We'll see if the Mustangs can get a
good opportunity
goal line
actually for
here.
both teams here. You get your goal line defense, you get your goal line offense. This is something that neither of these teams have had in tonight. Let's see who wins the battle. First one goes to
Henry. He's going to be just short of the goal line. First snap there was from the 3-yard line.
And the Mustangs win the first battle there. Pushing them back here and holding them at maybe inside of I think where are they going to give them? Maybe inside of the 1.5. Hasn't put the football down yet. Okay, so just outside the 1-yard line, cleaning it off for him.
We'll see if Legacy can get back-to-back scores here. 10:50 to go here in the game.
And that's an offsides. I think they're going to say on the corner.
It's going to be on Olsen.
Olsen going to go down for getting a penalty of
He's trying to jump that.
almost 3/4 of a yard. So that one
looking to jump that.
half the distance to the goal. Probably doesn't penalize you too much. He was looking to make a big negative play for the offense there and jumped it a little too soon.
Olsen was pretty excited for that one.
So now inside the 1-yard line. Going to probably say it's right at the half-yard line here. See if the Mustangs can pinch in.
That's inside the one
on the
for
tackles
sure.
and hold the Legacy out of the end zone. See if Legacy can get the push on the offensive line and dive something in here.
Miller under center,
That one
pitches
goes
it.
outside.
A great play there in the backfield.
Interesting play call there by Legacy. You take a dive there, probably worst case scenario. You go down at the 1. You shoot one off the edge, and now you backed yourself up another 4 yards, 5 yards.
Menz is right there to just swallow Henry off the pitch there.
And now they're in a situation of conversion where it's a little bit trickier outside the 5-yard line.
You know, if
rain coming down.
If you're Legacy, it's kind of got to be frustrating. You get it down inside the 5, and then now you got only 2 more tries here.
Another one off the edge there by Olsen.
Miller's going to keep it, and he's going to get into the end zone. Another Legacy touchdown, this time by Logan Miller. His first rushing touchdown. He had a passing touchdown to Aaron Urlacher earlier, and now he gets a rushing touchdown of his own.
Nice. Again, the best play for Legacy tonight has been the quarterback draw. It proves effective on that one after the long, almost a touchdown on the kickoff. That was a great return, and they were able to convert. We said which team was going to win. It looked like the Mustangs were able to push out. In the end, Legacy was able to answer. So 35-14 now, 9:45 to go. We're going to take a break.
We're back, folks, after that Logan Miller rushing touchdown. It's 35-14. Mustangs still in the lead. Bellbank Mortgage is proud to support the West Fargo Sheyenne Sports. Whether you're in the classroom, at home, or both, we hope you're inspired this year to push yourself beyond what you even imagined. And never stop learning. Go Mustangs. Bellbank Mortgage, equal housing lender. And we did get a scoring update. West Fargo is still in the lead against Bismarck Century tonight. You know, talk about a great matchup.
Yeah, 7-6, all defense going into the fourth quarter. Mustangs across town here. They're experiencing the same weather. They're seeing less offense. We'll see who finishes that one out. Also, Mandan is playing Davies up 27-7 right now.
It's another good matchup.
Mandan obviously ranked. Davies ranked as well. So that's a great matchup. And
it's going to be Wilson here on the return. And he's going to be stopped right around inside the 20. So tough field position here for the Mustangs, but they can't be worried about anything really. I mean, they're in the lead by 3 touchdowns, 9:37 to go. They got plenty of field to work with here, so they're going to just trim the clock, I think, right now.
Well, you probably say that, but I know Coach Newton, and there's nothing but perfection on his mind, so it's all about execution here, and he's going to make sure, regardless of the score, that people are doing it right. Talked a little bit about the West Fargo-Bismarck game. We said Davies is going against Mandan. What's interesting this year, for the first time, there are no conferences in Class AA. You will make the playoffs simply by quality wins. So it doesn't matter. It could be 5 teams from the East, could be 5 teams from the West. You're always curious which side of the state maybe has the power. Well, it doesn't even really matter anymore in terms of conference because it's all for all. And
it used to be so when it was single A, double A, and triple A format, it was, the top 4 teams in each conference. But ever since those teams dropped down, and now since the double A is the highest division, that's going to make things interesting. That is,
last
quality
year,
wins.
Davies had such a great year and didn't make the playoffs, and they were out so early. There was a lot of people saying, hey, this is one of the best teams in the state, and they're not even going to make the playoffs. And unfortunately, that system didn't work out well, and so there was enough conversation that says, hey, let's just go with some quality wins.
So it's going to be Pinu with the carry here, cuts up the middle. But now the format is double A is the highest division, then it's going to be single A, which is some of the smaller Class A schools, and then it's going to be there's Class B, and then there's 9-man. So 3 11-man divisions and then 1 9-man for a total of 4 state championship games at the end of the year.
First down there by the Mustangs, 8:40 to go. Up 21. Legacy probably feeling pretty good that they got a couple in the end zone now. See if the Mustangs have an answer here in the second half to just kind of run this clock out.
This is going to go to Kanega.
Good push there on the interior, and
great run by
takes
Isaac
advantage.
there.
That's going to be about a 5-yard gain, maybe a little bit more than that. Falling forward, nice job by Isaac Kanega. Boy, you see that guy in the hallway. His legs are just enormous. The guy's been squatting. I can't even remember what his squat total was.
400 some, high 400s.
Thought maybe it got up to 500. It's incredible. The guy has put in so much time and worked so hard, and now he's going to reap the benefits of it this season.
He's going to go to Bradshaw.
Oh, he's looking good.
Woo! Across the 50 in the Legacy territory.
Boy, we talked early in this game about how those
He had the rushing touchdown last time.
Yeah, you know, those slots, if they can put their foot in the ground and get up the field, Bradshaw has really shown that he can get that done. Again, the Mustangs so deep at the skill positions. You can bring in these guys, and they would start on almost any other team. And Bradshaw, Pinu looking really good right now. Deere just handing off the ball, letting these guys do their thing.
7:23 to go here. This is going to go to Pinu once again. Cuts up the middle. Thought he had a lane, and then he just gets absolutely swallowed.
Yeah, it looked like he maybe even ran into his own guy on that one. His blocker kind of hit him in the back. He was trying to maybe read which direction his right tackle was going. And
ran into Bradshaw there.
As is, though, still got him going forward, and that pickup of 2 is going to move the chains, or at least get you in a position to move the chains one more time. So under 7 now to play, up 21. Mustangs looking to finish this thing off, crossing midfield. Again, tight flex. This one's Kanega again.
Kanega up the middle. Nowhere to go. Loss of yardage there even.
A lot of Sabres involved in that tackle. Good push.
No gain on the play will bring up 3rd down and 8.
3rd down and 8 coming up here. From the 47. In between the 46 and 47 yard lines.
I know it's a 3rd and long situation. Be surprised here if the Mustangs do anything other than hand it off one more time.
It's going to go to Kanega. Oh, Deere's going to keep it. Fakes the hand off to Kanega. Nowhere to go. Maybe 1 or 2 yards at most. Little option there.
So now you're sitting at about a 4th and 5 on your own, crossing the 50 here. So I think you're probably going to say to yourself, I think we can maybe pick up 5 yards. Play coming into Deere here.
Why not? 5.5 minutes left. You're up 3 scores.
Trying to keep the offense on the field, save your defense from reps. Now the playbook might be open on 4th down. Still a handoff.
It's gonna be a handoff. And Bradshaw's going to have that carry. And
I don't think he just got across the 40, so that makes him fall a little bit short of the 1st down.
So Legacy's going to get the ball here, probably for the last time.
Student section looks like it's fairly full still here going into the 4th quarter, but it is coming down here at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. And now with 5 minutes and 12 seconds to go, this game well in hand, I think, for the Mustangs. Overall, Jackson, how do you feel the performance of the Mustangs? What are they going to clean up? What are they going to work on? How do they feel about their season moving forward?
Well, I'm sure there was a miscommunication on that long kickoff return that Legacy had. But, overall great performance on both sides of the ball, 35-14. Can't ask for anything better. That's going to be dropped. Miller was looking for Henry there, and that's like the 3rd time that's happened between those two guys.
If you kick a short squib sometimes, Jackson, what can happen is when your kick coverage is so wide, they don't have the time to collapse and pinch that guy up, and that appeared to be the case on that one. He found the one lane, hit it, and boom.
Then all of a sudden, Schlichting comes out of the corner of your eye and made the stop right around the 3-yard line.
So now Legacy here in a 2nd and long. Under center this time. That one goes to the fullback. Tripped up.
Great run here. Gets across the 50. Tackled right around the 43.
Number 44,
Mitchell Wald on the carry there.
A couple of times it looks like the Mustangs had him, and he was able to slip free and actually did a good job of holding on to the football, too. A couple guys pushed their hand through the football, and he was able to hold on tight even in wet conditions.
Miller under center. Hand off to Henry to the right side. He cuts up the middle. Great juke, great spin move, and he gets inside the 35.
Legacy still showing a little bit of life here. you got to feel like, at least for the Mustangs, they checked most of the boxes they needed to check tonight. Obviously, it's early in the season. There's going to be some things that they're going to want to clean up, but they showed a lot of positive things tonight, and I'm sure, Jeremy Newton's the kind of guy that he's probably not going to tell you that everything was perfect and great and just by scripted. He's a perfectionist. There's a reason this team is as successful as they are, and he demands that kind of perfection out of his kids. But certainly, from a standpoint of where we're standing up in the booth, you got to feel pretty good, and you checked a lot of boxes. Sure, you gave up the 2 touchdowns in the second half. A couple of those were a little fluky in terms of one was a 4th down and 16, the other one on the long kickoff. But at the end of the day, you checked off a lot of the boxes. You got kids that maybe hadn't had a lot of experience showing what they can prove. You had Deere doing it through the air, through the ground game. You had the slot guys picking up big yardage. You had Kanega, an untested guy behind Josh Hendricks.
Bradshaw.
He's proven what he – and then you get these guys that you hadn't thought about, and Bradshaw looks spectacular. Pinu looks really good. Defensively, we've seen a lot out of a lot of different guys. Schlichting stands out to me. Noah Olson stands out to me. Obviously, the linebacking squad led by Renner. Menz has made some plays.
So Henry had a 9-yard run on that last time, and Miller just absolutely swallowed in the backfield.
And that was
just like that. Lightning quick speed there from Menz. Holy cow.
Yeah, that one's worth another look because he got in the backfield before I think the quarterback even took a half a breath.
Oh, my goodness.
Not only did he hit him going Superman style to get there. So now you're getting a 3rd and long situation.
3rd and 11. Way back at the 46. Or, 44.
Trips left here and motion man. Evens out the field. Drops back.
It's going to be dropped back to – this is going to be Henry once again. Great pass from Miller.
And that's the first time they've been able to throw and connect on that little dump pass in a way that I thought was maybe going to pick up more yardage. They threw it right into the face of Menz. One thing I do think it's interesting is Menz has also got great hands. You throw that ball, you think you're going to lob it over the top. You've seen him dunk.
He had an insane 2-point conversion catch against Minot last year in the end zone.
If you think you're going to just throw it right over his head and convert on a little dump pass, look out. He might get up in the air this year. That's my call, Jackson. We're going to see a Carter Menz interception pick 6 where somebody tries to throw a dump pass and Menz just shows what kind of athleticism
all the way
got.
Back. Miller pump fakes, looks deep, overthrown, incomplete. And that's going to be a turnover on downs.
And that's coverage by Ruben Dia. He was step for step with the receiver on that one, and that is going to mean that with 2:18 to go, this is going to finish off the game effectively for the Mustangs.
And
this
the
is going to be
student section just chanting, I believe that we have won. I agree.
Better credit to the math teachers, I guess. Mathematically, they're right. So right now, obviously, 2 minutes and 18 seconds left. We'll see if we get some new personnel in. No, it looks like most of the same guys are going to remain, and they're probably just going to run that tight flex, couple of plays, run this clock out, and get in some dry weather.
And Rahr's going to get a carry here. First time he's touched the ball in a while. 1 to 2 yards at most. Kellogg with the tackle there.
With 7 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter, West Fargo maintains a 7-6 lead.
West Fargo maintains. We just got a scoring update from the PA. West Fargo maintains a 7-6 lead over Bismarck Century tonight. That'll be a big season opening victory there for West Fargo.
Yeah, they're probably in a similar situation to the Mustangs. They got a lot of really critical guys coming back,
but
they also had a lot of guys that were critical guys that left. So this will be a huge win for the Packers if they can come away with the dub.
Kanega gets it to the right side, tackled right around the 49.
Got to feel good. Offensive, defensive line was a question that I wanted to know about because there were so many turnover guys from last year, and pretty good push by the Mustangs on both the right and the left side of the offensive line, and the defensive line held up really nicely as well. So 1:06 to go. This one's going to get under 10 seconds, and I think, at 3rd and 4,
It's going to be it after this.
If the Mustangs convert here, that'll effectively run out the clock. If they can't and they get one more play, Legacy could
It's going to go to
potentially
Kanega up the
get
middle.
the ball back, but I think that might push the chains. So difference in the shot clock and the game clock here. Going to be about 20 seconds. It'll be one play, and then that'll do it. Shot clock, yeah. I guess
Play clock.
Play clock. We call so many games, Jackson. I forget what we're
Right?
doing sometimes.
Multiple sports. I believe Deer's going to take a kneel here.
And he
They
does
look like
take
they're
a
in
knee.
victory formation, and he takes a knee. And Mustangs, they're going to get a season-opening victory here against the Legacy Sabres tonight, 35-14. Great performance. Outscored in the second half, but really, didn't really have to do a whole lot in the second half. Just kind of had to maintain that lead and do what you can, and they ended up victors on the scoreboard. That's all that matters.
Yeah, no matter what the score is at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the W. The Mustangs come away with a 35-14 victory tonight. Tough conditions. Legacy, they were trying to figure out what they had. Mustangs were trying to figure out what they had. But at the end of the day, this is a long season. It is only the first week, and there are a lot of games left to be played before you get into the playoffs. And 8 teams are going to make it. And you make those. You got to win three games in the tournament, and then you get your and then that's how you win your state title. That is a long way off, Jackson. So sure. For the Mustangs, a step forward. But
2 months away.
But that is a long time before you realize the end of the season is coming. So we'll take a quick timeout break here. We'll recap the game, and we'll once again thank our sponsors, and we'll just be right back in about 30 seconds.
We're back, folks, for our quick Essentia Health postgame show. We want to give Bell Bank a shout-out first to kick things off. When you choose Bell Bank Mortgage, you'll partner with people that are part of the fabric of the communities we serve. And also shout-out to Essentia Health for being Cheyenne Mustang Media's main sponsor. Aaron, great performance tonight to kick off the season, 35-14. Nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. Offensively, defensively, like I said, the Mustangs came out strong. You see Coach Newton talking to his crew right here. Again, he's got a lot of work he knows that he's got to do. He wants his team to be hit their peak at the right time. So he's out there. He's still coaching. But this Mustang squad has shown, both in ability and tenacity, that they are ready to be reckoned with this year. Player of the game, Jackson. Who do you got for your player of the game tonight?
I'm going to have to go with my guy, QB1, Caleb Deer. He kind of filled up the stat sheet tonight, 2 rushing touchdowns and then 1 through the air to Dylan Bile. And he had a couple big runs, around the end as well. So, that's a lot of fantasy points out of Deer right there.
Yeah, I think you make a good call on that one. Tough to make the defensive call on who the defensive player of the game is. Obviously, we're always watching men's. He made some really fun plays, as always. But that's a collective unit here. The couple of the plays that they scored on were really busted plays. Certainly you want to shore those up. But overall, the Mustangs really did a nice job of keeping Legacy on the wrong side of the field. So my player of the game is just collectively that defense. I think they're going to be right back to where they were last year. Certainly they're going to get stronger. They're going to get better. The experience is going to make them stronger. You know what we got on offense. Boy, there's guys everywhere, but my player of the game is actually everybody on defense. So is that cheating? Is that cheating?
Well, player of the game.
Players of the game.
Players
I'll
of the game.
I'll give you that. So we'll wrap up tonight. Any last words for us, Jackson, tonight?
Well, it was just super good to be back, after a few months off of doing this stuff with you, Aaron. And, Wolf's going to be back up here soon as well, calling the games with us. So great performance tonight for the Mustangs. It was a great way to kick the season off. Mustangs win 35-14 here tonight over Bismarck Legacy. Don't forget to subscribe to Mustang Media so you can get notifications on when we go live. And for that, I'm Jackson Miller.
And I'm Aaron Knodel.
Mustang Media signing off. We'll see you next week.
Same color t-shirt.